Welcome to London's Craziest Gangster with me, Mr. Fish, whose motto is, if angels fly and devils die, how come I'm still alive? I'm the man standing on a pavement, riding on a bus, sitting on a train, looking at all you people, wondering what it's like to be you. To wake, to work, to eat, to sleep, to dream, to die. Today I'm going to talk about prisons. One of the funny things about prison, what people don't realise, is every prison is different from every other prison. Yeah. And different prisons all around the country, you always get a different population, and you have to fit in with that population. I remember going to Coldenley, and Coldenley prison is out in Guildford in Surrey, Kent, in Surrey, and it's a light prison. It's a C-cap prison, but everybody likes it there. It's all single cells. They're electronic gates. It's a really and it's a stepping stone to getting released, and it's a working prison. So when you go there, you have to work. I remember when I went to Coldenley, and it's very important to understand this. When you go to a prison, I think you make your stamp or your measure by how you deal and approach the reception staff. Okay. Now, me personally, I deal with all staff, regardless of whether they're reception or regardless of whether they're on the landings, and I deal with all the prisoners the same. I deal with everybody with respect. But when I got to Coldenley, we were late, really late. It'd been a long day. I came from Swellside, so it was about a 3-hour journey. And when I got there, I remember saying to myself, "Oh God, what a journey that was! I hope I get through reception." And there was this steroid officer, obviously been watching Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, and he said, "Ah, why don't you shut up, you mug?" When he said that, I just remained silent. I thought, okay, cool. But I said to him, you know what? I treat all officers with respect. I don't cause trouble. Okay? So when you're talking to me like that, yeah, if you want trouble, I said, it's not an issue. Let's go there. I'm from the blue shirts days. And when I say the blue shirt days, in the old days, all the prison officers used to wear blue shirts. Now they wear white shirts. But in the blue shirt days, that was when prison officers were prison officers, when prison was prison. So all the officers that I said were 6 foot tall, all ex-army, all with 2-inch sleeves just above the elbow, slit hats were the disciplinarians. We had the prison chief and the governor. So it was proper when we had to walk around all in the same direction, slop out, no TVs, lights out by 8, proper days. Okay. So anyway, one of the other officers, he's clocked it, innit? So he said, "Oh, don't worry about it, forget it." So anyway, I left it at that. And I got all my gear, went through reception, they go through your property, they tell you what you can have and what you can't have. And you have to remember, different prisons have different rules. So some prisons say you can have this, some prisons say you can have that. England had just scored 2-1. How's your father? Harry Kane. Gangster. And so, you can go to one prison and you might have your PlayStation, you might have your hi-fi, you might have all these different things. And you go to another prison and say, well, you can't have that, you can't have that, but you can have that. So it's hit and miss. Anyway, for me, any prison I go, I'm well known in the prison system. I've always got mates, always at the top of their game. And so I settled in and nice and relaxed and got to know the boys and chilled out. And as I said, I always have responsibility jobs. And one day I'm on the yard and I saw the steroid officer. And I'm always polite, as I said, and respectful. As I saw him, I went, "Right, mug! You mug! Mug! Mug!" And he was walking on the outside of the exercise yard, which is where I was at the time. And I remember all the inmates looking at me and all the officers looking, what's up with Fish? Why is he shouting like that? What's going on? Because none of them realised what had happened in the reception. Crash. Okay. So anyway, we've come off the yard and we've returned back to the wing, and I'm on the landing, and I was on the floors in Colney-on-Sea. And the officers come up the stairs with a female behind him. And he went, well, what's all that about, Brown? So I said, I'll tell you what all that's about, sir. All that's about, you called me a mug, so now I'm calling you a mug, okay? That's what that's about, all right? So he said, well, you call me mug again, and it'd be me and you. So I went, yeah? Mug! I said, come on, let's do it. Come on, let's go there. Let's get it on. So he's down in there. I'm going, Mark! And the woman officer behind him turned around and said to me, don't call him a mug, don't call him a mug. So I said, listen, love, stay out of it, okay? I don't hit women, so stay out of it. So anyway, he's now turned round and walked off. So I'm following going, Mark! Down the stairs, Mark! So anyway, crash as your father. We have different officers, principal officers, senior officers, governors, and they're in charge of each wings, okay? And so the senior officer who was in charge of our wing called me down to the office. And he said, Fish, what's going on? So I told him, I said, look, I came here with respect. I don't disrespect officers or your staff. I said, he called me a mug when I got in reception. I couldn't really do nothing about it there because I was new. But now I'm here, I'm returning the favour. So the SO was old school like myself, and he said, look, Fish, look, he's all right, the officer. He might have had a bad day, but he didn't mean it bad. I said, Gov, I'm old school. I don't trouble nobody. I said, I only trouble people that trouble me. They trouble me, I trouble them. So I said, he brought it to me, I'm bringing it back. But I said, I'll tell you what, for you, Gov, I will apologise. So I saw the officer later and I apologised. And he said, yeah, look, son, I'm not like that. I said, well, Gov, you may not be like that, but on the day I arrived, you were. And I'm returning the favour. So we shook hands and that was that. But one of the funniest incidents I had in Colney was I remember having a fight 5 times with one guy. And what had happened was I'd asked him for a bit of puff, and he, I think it was an 8 or something, and I said to him, okay, look, do me a favour, give it to me, give me it today, and I'll give you £25 tomorrow, is that cool? And he said, yeah, sweet, no problem. So I waited all day and the crash and walking on the land. I'm doing my job, which I think was safer custody at the time, which means making sure the inmates are safe, and if there's any violence issues or any tear-ups, I'm always the peacekeeper. And as it was drawing nearer to the end of association, which takes place about 5 o'clock and you're out till I believe it's 7, it was drawing nearer and closer to the end of association. So I went up to the person who was supposed to give me the part. Oh no, actual fact, no, there was a black and white guy, and so the black geezer told me earlier that the white guy would drop it off to me, and so I saw the white guy and I said, look, have you got the part? And he said, no, you'll have to go and see the black guy. So I went up to see the black guy, and he said, it's all gone. I'll give it to the white guy. So the white guy's come into the cell. So I've gone crash and hit the white guy. And so now they're going, whoa, Fish, no, what's happening? But now the black guy pulls the puff out of his sock. Obviously, he must have been a magician. You didn't have no heart 2 seconds ago, you know what I mean? Now, crash, you got it. Oh, God, I'll have to crash more people. Crash. So crash as your father. I've took it now. And no, actually, they said, well, what's that for? I said, well, you just told me that you ain't got it, the white guy's got it, and the white guy's telling you got it. So the white guy's talking shit, so he got crashed. So then I left it at that, and the next day I went back to the black fella, and I said to the black fella, do you know what? I'm not going to pay for that. Let the white fella pay, alright? Because he was the one who was effing about in the first place. And the black geezer goes, no. So I can crash. So we're crashing now, we're rolling, I'm crashing him, he's crashing me. He's got a toothpaste with a blade on it. I'm like, don't give two fucks, I'm on this round now, you get me? Let's do it. So we're crashing. I mean, it was a stocky, right? It was, yeah, good old tear. So the boys have come up on the land and heard all the commotion. They said, fish, go down. So I've quickly run down, made sure everything was stashed in the cell, and I've run back up there. Crashed him again. So we're rolling again, we're fighting, we're in the cell. So the boys have rushed again, no, fish, drop it. Yeah, but I've got the right arm now. I'm not having it now, yeah. This geezer, as far as I'm concerned, he's taking the piss, yeah. So crash, it's dinner time, innit? So anyway, I'm one of these people, mate. When it's on, and I don't stop until it's dealt with. So as I'm in the dinner queue, and we're queuing up for dinner, I've seen him, haven't I? So I've run straight over, crash, we're rolling everywhere. All the food's going everywhere, and the screws have come running. They've jumped on me, they've jumped on him. And as the screws jumped on me, I'm trying to break away, I'm trying to get him. They're trying to hold me back, but you know, I'm quite fit, I'm quite strong. I'm always training when I'm in the nick, you know. I train on the yard every morning. I train myself first, 500 press-ups, 500 sit-ups, 500 squats, and then I train on the yard, on exercise, and then I go to the gym. So yeah, I'm on it. So anyway, we got down the block. As we got down the block, which is the segregation area, crash! I'm confident again. The screws are trying to pull me off him. I've got hold of him. They go, fish, let go. So anyway, I'm let go, and we're both down the block now. The segregation, crash. So anyway, the governor now calls me. He says, right, fish, what's going on? So I said, well, look, you know, the geezer got mouthy, and he went for me, and I've had a tear up. And the governor said, well, hold on. My officer said that when they were trying to break it up, you kept going for the guy. I said, sir, no disrespect to you, but sometimes when you're in fear of your safety, the best form of defence is to attack. So he looked at me like, back in your cell, back to the block, and he called. So anyway, we're in segregation, you know, away from all the others. You go around the yard on your own for an hour's exercise. So anyway, I'm walking around for an hour's exercise, and sometimes you can see the other inmate's cell. And the white guy, he's down the block as well, I don't know why. And Crash, the white guy, says to me, oh, fish, you know, the black guy wants to have a word. So I said, no. I said, don't worry about it. You tell him, unless he's called it a truce, sweet. If not, every time I see him, it's on. Let's just, you know, that's it, done. It's on. Until I'm done, he's done, that's it. So anyway, the white guy's gone to the black geezer's cell when he was on the exercise yard, and he comes back with a message to me, and he says, the black guy said it's off. So the next day, while I'm on the yard, I managed to go to the black guy's cell window, and I said, all right, son, what's up? So he says, fish, what was that all about? I said, I'll tell you what that was all about. I've asked you to do something. You said to me the white guy was going to do it. The white guy told me you were going to do it. Then you told me that the white guy is supposed to do it. So he's mugging me off, okay, taking the piss. Right, so I've crashed him for lying, yeah, and then you pull one out your sock, okay? So I'm crashing you, and you. I told you the white guy's going to pay. You said no, so what else is there to talk about? Let's do it. Crash. So he said, fish. Look, man, I just want to watch TV and go home. I don't need all this trouble. I said, mate, no disrespect. I just want to watch TV and go home. Yeah? I thought I was going to do it with a fucking bit of puff. But like Crash, it's took me to crash him before you pulled it out your pocket or whatever. I said, come on, mate, have some respect. So anyway, we called the truce. And, we went back on the wing. But I had to laugh. It was quite funny, like it was just like, get out, man. 5 fights over a bit of pub. He couldn't believe it. But that's what you have to do sometimes. When people are taking the piss or people undermine your respect and take your respect and kindness for and politeness for weakness, then hey, let's get it on. Do you know what I mean? You know, um, I remember in Erlestoke. Erlestoke is in Bristol, and it's funny, Erlestoke. When you go to prisons a long way away, I've noticed that people, from London, I don't know if it's just black people, but I know some black guys because, when you're in the prison system and you can go to these prisons where it's predominantly white, I think some black guys get scared. I mean, I don't give a shit. Wherever I go, I don't care who you are, who you know, what you're doing. Listen, let's do it. I'm having a laugh. I respect you. If it's on, it's on. I die once, not twice. And so that's me. I don't care where I go. Anywhere in the country, any landing, anywhere. I don't give a shit. But you notice there are some people who go to these prisons out in the sticks and they get scared because they're on their own, and so they a lot more quiet, they keep in the shadows, whereas me, I'm loud wherever I go. I don't give a shit. Always happy going happy. I don't give a damn. Always having a laugh and joke. And I remember when I got to Erlestoke, and Erlestoke I'm an IPP prisoner, so that means an indeterminate 99-year serving prisoner. And in order to get released when you're doing an IPP sentence, you have to do courses, behavioural courses. So if you're in there for a domestic violence issue or hurting your wife, then you have to do a healthy relationship course. If you're in there for drugs, then you have to do a rap course. If you're in there for firearms, like myself, then you have to do a CSCP course, which is like a big psychological course, but it's massive. It takes a long time, it's very hard to do, and it's very hard to get out once you do that course. It's mind-boggling. And so I was sent to Erlestoke to take part in this course. Now, when I got there, I'll never forget, I walked on the landing, because my voice is very distinctive. Crash, that's your father. And as soon as I got on there, I was talking to one of the officers, and all I've heard in there, Fish, is that you? Is that you, Fish? And I'm going, yeah, who's that? And it was my mate. He goes, yeah, gangster, Fish is here, because everybody knows with me, when it comes to prison, listen, I am going to have the best laugh. We are going to have the best laugh. All we're going to do is have pure joke, I used to walk round the landings, at the top of my voice, on the association, I just shout, they can't hurt us! They can't hurt us! Oh God, listen, I used to love it, and then I'd always, if it was your birthday, I'd put on a thong and a strippergram, and I'd get some balloons, and I'd chase you around the prison land, and all the staff used to laugh at you, and people always used to run, but listen, I'm a fitness fanatic, so I used to catch them in HAPPYBIRTHDAY, happy birthday. Oh, it was hilarious. But one day I was in the education, and I was doing a Spanish degree. And when you're doing a Spanish Open University degree, if you leave one prison and go to the next, you're normally allowed to carry it on. But when I got to Erlestoke, and I tried to reapply to do my last year of my degree, the education person in charge of outsourced education told me that I couldn't do an open university, that I'd have to do another Spanish course. I was like confused. I was, hang on, stop, I've just done 2 years open university. I'm not going to start another course. I want to do an open university. I goes, mate, I've done it in every other prison, why can't I do it here? He said, did you do it in prisons in the southeast? I went, yes. He said, well, here it's the southwest. So I could see he was ignorant, so I thought, all right, do you know what, Christ, I'm going to let it go. Now, I spoke to one of the black guys about it, and he said, oh, he's racist. He said he was in the toilet having a piss, and the guy came and asked him what he's doing. And when he said, who are you, the guy tried to grab him, and they kind of had a fight. So now I've kind of got the coup. So I thought, right, I went back the next day to his office, and I said, right, because I know he's got the hump. So I thought, you know what, I don't want no problem. So I thought, I'm just going to keep it simple. So I said, excuse me, sir. He went, yeah, what do you want first? I said, may I just ask you to put the reasons in writing where I can't do my course so that I can at least appeal it? He went, no, I told you the reasons. I said, sir, with respect to you, you haven't told me the reason, but even if you have, may I ask you if you can put it in writing? He went, no. I said, sir, look, I'm talking to you with respect. I'm talking to you with politeness. I'm not from this white shirt, babe. I'm from the old school. So please, sir, with respect, I'm asking you to put it in writing. He went, don't talk me like that. Go on, get out. So I've gone, crash. I've grabbed this kid. Oh, listen, I was fuming. I've grabbed him. I put him down on the floor. I'm going, you no good piece of shit. Do you think I'm like this fucking new breed here? I know everything you've ever loved, seen, heard and touched. Are you mad? I said, but the staff, what I realised, the staff never pressed the alarm bell. They never blew the whistle. At the time, it didn't talk because I was so angry. And then they pulled me off, and hit the alarm, and the screws came, and they took me down the block. So I was down the block, and the governor came along because he has to do morning checks, and he's surprised to see me there. He said, Fish, what are you doing here? I said, oh, I've had a row with one of the education staff. I said, I never hit him, Gov. I said, I'll just put him down. So the governor said, take him out the block and put him back on the wing. Anyway, now, the head of education governor, she now hates me. So she says that she is now going to adjudicate me, which is like you go to court within a prison. We call it an adjudication. And you have to stand before the governor and then write your statement out, and they call witnesses, and it's just like a courtroom. And so I said to her, look, with respect to you, can't adjudicate me because you're head of government. That means bias. She said, I can do what I want. I said, okay. So anyway, he's now giving evidence saying that I was swearing at him, that I rushed him, I grabbed him, I hit him. I didn't give him any chance for no reason. But the staff that worked with him, who I thought were going to be witnesses against me, were witnesses for me. And said, no, Mr. Brown was very respectful, Mr. Brown was very polite. And they said, well, we didn't really see what triggered it, but Mr. Brown didn't hit him. He did grab him, yes, but he did not hit him. He didn't swear at him. He was polite and respectful throughout. So I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow. So anyway, crash, she's found me guilty now, innit? Because that was what it was all about. Yeah, she just wanted to find me guilty, for having a go at her star. But the guy was picking. Anyway, then it turns out that he was an ex-policeman, and he had an attitude with all prisoners, but he also had it with the staff, and that was why they came down on my side. So anyway, I got out now, and I went back to education, and he's there. And he said, look, oh, sorry, Fish, look, I apologise. Look, if you need anything, if there's anything I can do for you, please just ask. You know, I don't want to. And I said, Gov, with respect to you, look at what it's taken to get you to do what I asked you to do. And for what? All you had to do to me was treat me the same way I treated you. You know? But no, you wanted to treat me like a piece of shit. For no other reason, I don't know why. That maybe I'm a criminal. I don't know why. So anyway, Crash, me and him, we became, you know, we squashed it, became good friends, and he done it. But what happened now was I appealed the adjudication on the grounds of bias of the governor. And I won. And I told her, look, I won. And she apologised. I said, look, I know my game, love. I said, you know, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but, you know, you people really have got to stop, like, you know, thinking your shit don't stink and start, you know, appreciating people for what we are. Do you know what I mean? You know, like, and then after that, they still wouldn't let me do my Spanish degree. So I thought, you know what, let them have it, let them have it. But it just goes to show you, you know, sometimes you do have to do what you have to do regardless of cost or consequence. Do you know what I mean? Don't let people push you about. Don't let people. For me, I don't see labels. I don't do labels. I don't do governor. I don't do prison officer. I don't do chief inspector. I do people. I see the person in front of me. I respect everybody. I don't care what the label is. You're no different from anybody else as far as I'm concerned. Do you know what I mean? And so we ended it. We became good friends, and we ended it there. And I got on. But you know, as well, I was also dealing with the racial element and letting him know, look, hold on. We're not all going to take your racist shit. Don't think you can terrorise us all like you terrorised the last black geezer in the toilet and he was too frightened to do anything about it. Yeah? There are some of us who will stand up for colour or for anything. Yeah? If we get a prison officer who's a bully, mate, I've had it. I've dealt with that prison officer, but I don't care. Do you know what I mean? Don't think because you've got a uniform on, yeah, that you can just hurt people and disrespect people and treat people like a piece of shit because you think you're in a position of power. Yeah? Because that position of power is only a position of power while we're inside. And sometimes we can deal with that position while we're inside through the buttons and going through our friends on the outside. So yeah, that's, you know, that was Erlestoke. That was the story. So it just goes to show, no matter who you are or what's going on, always, you know, hopefully you never go to prison, and understand. But if you do, understand it's not just about you and the inmates. You have to also watch the staff and the prison officers. You've got to juggle all the time. You've got to be on point from the moment you come out of your cell to the moment you go back. It's on. Oh well, there you go. Prison Tales. Okay, remember where you saw me last, remember where you heard me first, okay? Don't forget to like and subscribe to keep the show alive. Make sure you're happy, stay safe, look after yourselves, and remember, Crash, how's your father? Ha!